Bill Kriebel of Branch 254, Bethlehem, PA. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Brian. When looking at the projected Table 2 pay chart in the Tentative Agreement, there's many smoke and mirrors as to what the average city carrier and the CCAs are actually going to make for their salaries. It's more meaningful to see a raise of 29 cents per hour than an average salary of $46,038 to a $46,635. I looked at the COLA portion first, and although we value our COLAs, they only help us if the economy is in a moderate inflation. CCAs don't even receive the COLAs, so they'll have to be more reliant on what their hourly rate is even. The average carrier looks at the projected COLAs and sees that it's for $978. That $978 only goes to the Step P carrier and is prorated to shrink in the percentage the lower that the step levels go. So Step C, they'll get about $651 of that. So the whole COLA and the reliable factor to incorporate into the pay structure, it makes it look fluffed. When looking at the back pay with the COLAs incorporated into it, us carriers need to remember that these past COLAs do not have interest in them. $10 in 2022 and 2023 is $6 today. It doesn't even offset our health care. When I look at Step A on 9/5/25 before the jump, they're making $49,025. On the very next day, they jumped to $53,407, which is an 8.94% increase. Step B would go to 4.28%. If we average Step A and Step B percentages together, it would come to 6.61%. If we incorporated that 6.61% into Step C through Step P, the wage would be a minimum of 5.8% per year for the length of the contract, and that would make it seem fairer to us carriers that only got a 1.3% raise. There are many factors in this tentative agreement that I can't wrap my head around, such as the removal of the 10-hour ODL list. Only receiving $37 for our uniform allowance. Brian, I've been sitting here for 2 years listening about how we need to get everybody clothed in our uniform so we don't look like hood rats walking around in the streets. $37 ain't getting that done. That's a half a t-shirt. The decrease of the office time and the joint route adjustments.
Brother, do you have a question?
Well, it's kind of like it's getting there. Hang on one second. I'm almost done. CCAs are not being moved to a career model, leaving them with a small raise. How are we supposed to retain our CCAs? They're leaving. With this presented to you, my brothers and sisters, to even believe that we would entertain this, I, for one, am voting no. Thank you.
Brother, do you have a question? Okay. This is not a forum for campaigns for or against this agreement. You just stood up there and sounded like you made a case to me to vote no on this agreement. So this is, as I stated in the opening, I'm not here to convince anybody to vote one way or the other. And I don't think it's worth anybody's time in this crowd to hear speech for or against the agreement. What we're here to do is get information to you to take back to your branches. So I'm not into censoring when anybody says at the mic, but I think our time in the investment that's been made by branches was not for people to come here and campaign for or against an agreement. I think that investment was for you to come here and get this information. So I think it's more important. That we stick to those questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions anybody has about the agreement itself or the process.